I'm super happy to see you guys. Super happy to make some art. Hopefully you guys all chose art and you're not just being forced in this class against your will. Um, I do want to give a disclaimer. Art class is supposed to be really fun. We're supposed to have a great time, but it is also part of your GPA. So please don't just think this is a class where you can goof off and not do any work and get away with it. I am going to grade you on doing your work. I want to be fair about that so that some people aren't doing their work and some people aren't. We gotta all put in a good effort. But luckily, hopefully you think these projects are really fun and that they're not like an assignment, that they're really enjoyable to do. All right, so I'm going to share my screen, go over a couple of little things. We're going to do attendance in a different way than many other teachers might. Me and Mr. Kramer are both doing art the same way, art attendance. All right, so welcome to 9th grade art. I'm Mrs. Weir. You guys may have heard of me or seen me subbing in your classes last year when you were in 8th grade as Mrs. or Miss Frederick. I was married over the summer, but first I want to give you, before I get into info about me, a little quote: creativity is intelligence having fun. You got to use your brain to be creative, but it's really fun to do that. All right. So a little bit about me. I hope to get to know you guys as well. But a fun fact, I was just married in June during COVID. It was very interesting. It was a lot of planning and replanning a wedding. Favorite artist is Yayoi Kusama. It's this lady up at the top, looks super funky. If you guys don't know her, you're definitely going to be hearing a lot more about her throughout this quarter and throughout the year. She is probably the most famous contemporary artist of today. She makes these really interesting things called infinity rooms, where it's a small cubicle room and it's all mirrors and a little walkway and then lights hanging from it. And you walk into it and you have like 30 seconds to 60 seconds in it. And it makes you feel like you're in outer space or something. It's kind of surreal. So that's my favorite artist, and a couple favorite TV and movies. Maybe you guys can give me some suggestions of new ones and I can help you watch some new ones too. Love Korean dramas, Disney movies, Moana. Funny Face is a really old one with Audrey Hepburn. Parks and Rec and Queer Eye are some favorites. All right, moving on. Enough about me. We're going to meet on Zoom at the beginning of every class. It's not usually going to be long. A lot of instructions and tutorials that I have will already be on YouTube and put on Google Classroom for you. We'll take attendance every day, and attendance is going to be on Google Classroom, where you'll also find all your assignments. So I'm just going to go to Google Classroom right now, and I'm going to show you how to access this. And then we're all going to go and take attendance at the same time. Let's see if this works. Ha ha ha. All right. So you guys are period 1, 9th grade art. If you're curious what the topic of our art class is, I'm not going to share a lot about it today. You don't need to know about it today, but it's ancient art in connection with art of today. So everything we learn about art in the past, we're going to connect it to how art is today and what you guys can do to make art about today. So we'll go into period 1 art. You guys are probably really familiar with how to do this. If you didn't join yet, I'll add the code in the comments or leave it up here so you can see in a moment. If you go into classwork tab up at the top, you're going to find a couple tabs. The first one is daily assignments. This is where you'll find whatever you have to do for the day and instructions on how to do it. For some reason, I have 2 daily assignment tabs that I have to get rid of one of. Attendance forms. This is what you're going to do at the beginning of every class. I'm going to give you time every single class period to do this. This way I know whether you're here or not. And if some situation comes up, like your internet crashes and you can't watch the whole live session, then there's a form for you to fill out then. So on a normal daily basis, when I give you time to fill out your attendance form, you're going to click on the period 1 daily attendance. If you're re-watching the recorded live version because something happened, freak circumstance, you're going to be filling out this one right here. It's written here. And then if you don't attend and you don't do the work or watch the live video, just don't fill out an attendance form. That way I know to mark you absent. All right, so period 1 daily attendance, it's going to be super, super simple and easy. Just fill out your first name and your last name, and then select the date, submit it, you're good. Super simple. So let's take, I'm gonna give you guys three or 4 minutes. Pull up a second tab if you can. If you can't, let me know, like unmute yourself and say you can't do it. But pull up an extra tab and take a second to take attendance on this period 1 daily attendance form, and then we'll come back together and continue. Hey guys, I just want to test. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me, or a thumbs down if you can't. Can you hear me? Okay. Can you give me a thumbs up too if you are finished completing attendance? Okay. I got most people with a thumbs up. If you didn't get to take attendance and finish that yet in Google Classroom, then you can use the time after we're done chatting here. We'll have like independent work time to complete that. All right, I'm going to move on. When you have questions, you can message me anyway. Message me on Google Classroom, on email. If you want to give me a call on my class phone, you can do that. But really, whatever way works best for you. If it's during the live class and I'm done talking and we're done with our meeting and it's just work time, you guys can also leave the live meeting and come back into it and ask any questions live. Or if you just want someone to chat with while you're working, we can do that too. But just keep in mind, I'm going to help the people who need help first and who have questions. Needed materials. I would love to be able to send you guys home with materials sometime. Realistically, I can't do that for the first week or two, but eventually me and Mr. Kramer are going to try to make that happen. In the meantime, our lessons are going to start off on Google Drawing. So if you don't even have paper or pencil, it's not an issue. But for those of you who have a paper and a pencil, that's awesome. By the end of the week or the beginning of next week, we don't have school on Friday or Monday. By Tuesday next week, hopefully you will be able to have a sketchbook at least. We'll have sketchbook assignments. You can do your projects in there. If you want to get more materials than what's on this list here, you can totally do that. But I don't want to put anyone in a position where they can't get the materials and feel uncomfortable asking for them. If you're in that kind of situation, or if you have any concerns, just let me know. I'll try to get something to you. All right, so we'll have sketchbook assignments. I haven't decided yet how often they're going to happen, maybe every other week or once a month, not to overwhelm you. We'll see how it goes. But mostly we're going to be sticking to bigger projects that take a couple of days at a time. All right, Zoom, you guys are doing an awesome job at this. I don't really need to take much time to go over this. This is more so for 7th graders. Try to stay muted unless you have a question. One person unmuted at a time. Try to join on time. If you are able to keep the video on, I really appreciate it. I love seeing your faces. And your faces also tell me sometimes if I'm talking too much. So it's really helpful to see this. You can use the chat box for questions. I don't get notifications apparently. If you guys have sent me a chat, I have to seek it out, so it might take me a couple seconds. And just be respectful, be kind. I had a lot of bullying issues happen in the art classroom last year. Art's a very personal subject, so just be supportive. If you don't have anything good to say, don't say it. If you have something critical to say it in a really nice way. But yeah, that's all I have for Zoom expectations and classroom rules. It doesn't look the same as being in class here in person. So I already said this. Do today, I want to give you time to get to know Google Classroom a little bit. You probably already know it, so this should be easy peasy for you guys. But in Google Classroom, there is a daily assignment titled August 31st. I think every single assignment we have is going to be titled the day that it's submitted or that it's assigned, so that it's pretty easy for you to find. It's just a form, so I can get to know you guys and you can share anything you want to share with me. And after you complete that, feel free to jump back onto the meeting. If you have questions about class, you can stay on the meeting, message me, email me. But as soon as you complete the form, you can just relax. You're going to hear a lot of this intro stuff all day today, so I don't want to take up your whole day. Are there any questions? Nope. Okay. So feel free. Take some time now. Our class ends at 8:58. Make sure you're keeping track of time. And as soon as you get done with the form on Google Classroom, you guys are free to go. You can leave the meeting whenever you're ready now. I'm just going to go through and go through the process of going into Google Classroom if you need to see it once. But for now, you guys can leave if you feel good as to what you're doing.